Welcome everybody. Thank you for joining me on this video. This particular video is going to go through the process of installing the PAK update file to vRealize Operations Manager 6.0 in reference for doing vSphere optimization assessments, or VOAs. So once you've installed vRealize Operations as a part of the initial day one of the VOA process, after you have it installed, you are going to need to add this PAK file. Now this PAK file updates and basically adds additional pre-configured reports within the reports section of vRealize Operations. And these reports are very specific to the VOA process. So on that day 1, day 15, and day 30 part, you will have these pre-configured reports, which makes it real easy so that these reports will pull the associated information for those particular steps. And then once these PAK file is installed, again, it gives you these pre-configured reports in which you can run and then view these reports, and you can put that into a PowerPoint presentation at the end or a Word document at the end of the day 30 presentation for the VOA. So let's get started. Now you're going to obviously log into vRealize Operations Manager. Then you're going to go to this administration section within vRealize Operations. So you go to Administration, and once that loads, you're going to go to Solutions. As we have here, you're going to click the green plus button to add a solution. You will then hit the Browse button on this pop-up and point to the PAK file. And as you see there, VOA reports final. Point to that VOA, or that PAK file rather. Click the Upload button, and this will upload the PAK file. And I've shortened this up a little bit so that you don't have to wait for this to load the entire time. And then once it shows that it's ready, we're going to go ahead and click the Next button. And after you hit the Next button, you accept the terms. Check the box, click Next. And then it actually does the full install of the PAK file into the system. And again, I have reduced the time here and chopped out some of the install process here, so you don't have to watch the whole thing, but I kept a little bit just so you can see that when you're actually installing this PAK file, you'll actually see the changes go in this window. And you now see that it's finished and it completed. You click Finish, and once it's done that, it has installed those pre-designed reports specific to the VOA. There are 3 for the 3 phases. There is the day 1, the day 15, the day 30. And then there's also a 4th report, which actually shows you all 3 of those reports combined into one area. So going back to Content here, and then we go to Reports. And once the reports loads, you'll see at the very top those first 4 there are for the VOA. As you see, they start off saying VOA. You have the Consolidated Assessment Report. That is the final one where it takes phase 1, 2, and 3 all together and puts them into one single report. And then again, you have phase 1, 2, and 3, which is essentially your day 1, day 15, and day 30 reports. And as you see, there is a subject which describes what kind of information these reports are pulling. So now I'm going to go and run each one of the reports. And I'm going to select the report and then go up to the icon with the green arrow facing to the right, as you see right there, Run Template. And depending on the customer's environment that you're running it in, and depending on what you want to run it against, you have different options as you see here. If they have groups set up within their environment, either by departments, function, location, security zone. As you see, there's lots of options. But I'm going to run it just against the entire universe, which basically means everything within that vCenter environment. And so I'm going to do this for each one of the reports. And you would do this depending on what phase of the VOA step that you're in. You'd run the appropriate report, and then at the end you can run again that consolidated report, which puts all three of them into one. And then you can selectively choose which information you want to present to your customer. So as you see, I'm just going through again running each one of these reports against the entire universe. And then you go over the generated reports tab, they're going to start running. And then once these would finish processing all these reports, you then would have the ability to look at them in either as a Word document or a PDF once these reports were finished running. So that's how you install the PAK file to basically get those pre-configured reports associated to the VOAs. It's pretty straightforward, but that's all there is to it. And again, thank you for joining me.